Could I argue that a dude's hatred towards women is the accumulation of a bunch of negative experiences that they've had with women? I look at a lot of dudes that I see in my personal life today that struggle to get girls, or that have a thing against girls, because it's more guys than you think, to be honest with you. And I feel like having a thing against women is just not seeing them as the same as myself. I think you need to get to a point where you see both men and women as just people. There's no levels to this shit. We're not like a Myron Gaines channel over here. It's not me above a woman. Leadership roles, gender roles, all that shit, we don't have to discuss it. I'm talking about on the fundamental level. Men and women are intrinsically partners. And until you understand that, I feel like you hate women. You know what I mean? Because there's probably something directed at them. There's always some resentment there for whatever reason. Whenever I hear about it, it's like, why did she like me? Or even if you don't like to go, even if you still like to go, why didn't she like me? Who could be better than me? I'm the best for her. If you stack a bunch of those experiences, you are 100% more likely to not like women in general. Those experiences aren't even in your control, which is probably the worst part. Because I'm thinking about it now, and I keep on banging this drum. It's a running theme in my YouTube channel, but I feel like it's something that does have to be noted. I was probably on the way to ending up like that. Whenever I see dudes online who are seriously struggling to get into relationships, I understand why. They can't control that trauma. They can't control what's happening to them mentally. But it's the only response you have. Human interaction necessitates reciprocation. I don't know if I'm using words that are too big. No interaction is still an interaction, and a bad interaction is definitely an interaction. That's a good analogy for trauma in general, right? Because unresolved trauma is always going to be trauma that sticks up over and over again, and it feels progressively worse. You become like a wounded animal. It's a bad response, sure. If you think about it on a conceptual level, ridiculously attractive people get told they're ridiculously attractive many times. It's not once. You feel me? It's not like a fluke. I mean that in the most literal sense. If you ever grew up around people that were very attractive, or you were very attractive yourself, you grew up getting told, damn, this person looks good. That was by everyone, your teachers, your friends, potential love interests, fucking random people on the street. And I'm not just saying that's a thing that happens for girls. I've known some really pretty niggas in my life, and some of those dudes were so pretty that this is right out of COVID. So people had terrible social skills. Girls would be coming up to this nigga, bro. I'd be like, damn, they don't even know this man. You know what I mean? And then I'd just be standing there because, I was, God damn it, I'm a sidetrack. Bit of self-glaze. This is my Christmas present. This year, a bunch of women have started calling me Denzel Washington, or fucking, who's the other guy? But I think he was on Magic Mike. So, shit, it's working. And these women are saying this to me. These women are saying this to me in different areas, different provinces, different types of women. A different woman from every single race has called me the same or a similar person from a movie role. Hey nigga, that's crazy. That's really crazy. When you think about the odds of that happening. Point being, I don't believe that shit. I still don't believe that shit. They'll tell me this and I'll be like, damn, thank you. And then awkwardly, because you don't really receive compliments like that. I finally understand it. I understand why pretty people say, hey, when someone calls me like this and that, I don't really feel it. Pretty people get told they're attractive or pretty so many times. So many times. And even they don't believe that shit sometimes. But I do know there's no negative trauma to be gained by being told you're very pretty all the time. That doesn't happen. What a fucking roundabout way to get to an answer. Point being, when that happens over and over again, you just get overconfident. You get very confident, bro. Niggas who are extremely attractive, a lot of the time what carries them is the energy they have around women. It's the energy that they are allowed to exude. You feel me? Same reason women who don't feel particularly attractive tend to shelter themselves, while women who do don't. And I'm not even talking about promiscuity. I'm just talking about levels of confidence. This is probably stuff you can go read about in science. I don't fucking. So oftentimes my boys will send me some kind of reel that I'm supposed to react to. As you can tell by the rain, I was not prepared for this one. I was so unprepared. You're about to see something The feeling I want to leave you with is that we need to bring back internet shame. Not because you do it in your personal life, but because I have to hear about it. Okay? I don't want to see that shit on my feed. But since I had to, you're going to as well.
She had her husband bunch into ice cube trays, and then she peed into some ice cube trays, and then they froze those, and they shoved the pee and ice cubes into it, and he like f***ed me until they like melted, and then she had to slurp them up out of it.
Well, beautiful people, I think it's time I get a round of applause because I have done it. 100 videos, clap for me. I mean, what a fucking achievement. I must be that guy. What did I learn over the course of this year making shit like this? Well, a cynic would stand here and say some shit like, I did all that work and only got like, I think total I have about 60 new followers. It's less than 50,000 views combined if I'm keeping it a band. But there's a next year coming. There's more of this shit. I will be better, stronger, a super negro. Better content for you. Look at how much emotion I got for the camera now. You're seeing more of me, more of how I actually am. I know, super weird. Took what, 120 videos for me to get more comfortable on camera? Beautiful things, really, beautiful things in store. Think of me not really. Like, a lot of people think my plan with this YouTube shit is to blow up by myself and have my own brand be the most successful thing. No, that's never been the play. I know that the Lord may not have bestowed upon me the best tools to be the star of the show, but I can be like Lil Yachty. You know when he like had the spree of writing a bunch of music for upcoming female rappers that only talk about popping pussy? That's me. That's what's gonna happen eventually. Overall though, I wanna thank all of my boys who like have reached out to me and said, yo Sam, I fuck with your shit. This has never really been about me blowing up so much as it has been about me doing something that I said I was gonna do a long time ago, but I didn't do. What a Debbie Downer. What a fucking Debbie Downer this guy is, bro. No, seriously, making this stuff is fun. I like laughing at my own shit. I had an anime channel that I still pump like time and energy into. So like, if you really do think I'm doing this to blow up at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, I wanna get paid. It does help me get paid when other people reach out and be like, hey Sam, edit this for me, which by the way, I will do for you at a price. So I originally made this video about 7 months ago, but I showed it to a girl I was messing with at the time. And she was like, dude, this video is super derogatory towards women. And I was like, let me think about that. And I did. At the time, I decided me talking about my experiences with older women and how they relate to BS testing on younger women might not be helpful. But now it's December. I don't talk to her anymore, even though we are still cool. And my opinion has changed, so I'm gonna make the video. A few times right after I started to get bigger in like 11th grade, where older women would ask about me. And I'm not saying older like 25, I'm saying older like 30, late 30s and into the 40s. These are really attractive women doing this, by the way. And to me at the time, it is a very, very foreign concept. Up to this point in my life, older girls have always been cool with me because I've been cool with older girls, but that's because I was cute. You feel me? I was non-threatening. There was never the air of like, yo, why isn't this young dude asking for my number so we can go do something somewhere? You feel me? That's not how it went for me. And so when I started experiencing something like that, I remember at the time thinking to myself, are all of these women pedophile? You know, because at the time, I know I'm 17. I'm not like hiding the fact that I'm 17, but to a lot of these women, I don't look 17. So in my head, that's what I conflate it as, and it's what I tell a lot of the girls my age. And, you know, that's mistake number one, because they immediately start telling me that what I'm thinking is correct. These women want nothing but to prey on me. This is where the lesson starts to happen, okay? Because one day I go into the gym and there's this, it's a perfect place, okay? There's a deadlift platform right in the center of the gym. And on Friday evenings, I used to go every single Friday like clockwork. I would be on that deadlift platform pulling unholy amounts of weight. Okay, it's probably why like a lot of these women thought I was a lot older than I was. I was like 17 deadlifting on 180 kilograms for, it was 6 reps by 5 sets, and I also did sumo. So I was a fucking unit, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally looked like a slightly smaller version of myself now. And you know, when you pull a lot of weight like that, and it gets horny. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when you pull all that weight, especially from your legs and shit, and you feeling good, like you feeling grand, I start noticing this woman is like looking at me. You know what I mean? She's on the bikes a few racks down. I think I can tell this story because it's so long ago. I'm doing my thing, and then I head up to do some like stretches and stuff, and she pulls up next to me. And now I'm like, okay, I'm definitely supposed to say something, right? I'm definitely supposed to say something. We start talking, and the whole conversation goes about as normal as I could expect it. There was no tricks. There was no like gameplay involved. She was clearly interested in me, and she wanted to hear about what I had to say in relation to my deadlift so that I could segue into giving her my number. Now, I didn't do that because at the time I realized that she thought I was much older than I was. I actually told her I was 17 and she was like, oh, which is when I learned she was most definitely not a pedophile. She just thought I looked good. So now I go back to school. A lot of the girls that I grew up with still see me the same way. So it's like a weird parallel. It's not even that they see me as explicitly the same way. I know they've seen the physical changes that I've gone through, as well as the mental appreciation that I must have undergone since 10th grade, because fuck me. Women tend to withhold as much from you as possible until you are able to get it out of them. Not in like a weird way, but in like a... Women will always be on BS if that's how the relationship started with you, bro. And that's not like a good or a bad thing. I think it's pretty neutral, but it's an important lesson. Overwhelmingly, their interactions was just so normal. There was such a normal interaction. We didn't start on BS, so BS could not be done. I do actually believe those very same women probably practice BS with dudes in their normal life. And that's not a critique on women. That's just a critique on how relationships work. The lesson, the real lesson, now that we can get towards the end of the video, all the story times being over, you really have to cut through the BS with any girl that you talk to romantically, immediately, like as soon as possible.
As you guys know, I weigh 80 kilos.
She doesn't weigh 80 kilograms, and she fucking got me, bro. Rage bait is getting so good these days. Good enough that degular people believe it. When you open the comments, a lot of these niggas actually believe this woman is 80 kilograms. Granted, that's because a lot of these niggas have never felt the touch of a woman. She got me, bro. She really got me. I was quite like miffed about it too, because I called one of my friends liking this shit. And I was like, damn, does she really believe it? Because that's what made me mad. I'm like, ain't no fucking shot this woman weighs 80 kilograms, bro. It's just not possible. I know a dude personally who's like 6'2", 6'3", super athletic, black, so he's muscular by default, and he weighs like 77 kilos. Like if he stood next to this woman, she would be looking up at him and wondering how he got so big naturally. Do you feel what I'm saying to you? Like rage bait is coming for us all.